I've seen people get killed in Vietnam.
Really?
I bought a motorbike in Vietnam and I travelled it for a month. I travelled from north to south on a motorbike. I saw one person get killed by a bus. I saw one kid get fucking killed by a group of 20 kids on scooters with a fucking giant post and beat the shit out of him on the side of the road. I've seen like bashings and all that shit in rural parts of fucking Vietnam and Laos and all that shit that I was like, what the fuck is going on? But I've also drunk rice wine at fucking 9 a.m. just trying to fill up my fucking motorbike full of fuel with a town that turned from 5 of them into 30 in the space of 5 minutes. And then
No
I ended up
shit.
there for 2 hours just drinking rice wine before I ended up fucking driving on to the next fucking
In
place. Like,
these countries, they're the nicest people, but the value for life is a lot less.
yeah. Yeah.
Like there's a lot less value for life.
But their value for life, they don't know anything more. I suppose they don't know anything more of it.
It's a hustle over there. Everyone's got a hustle.
This was Tet as well. So Tet is like fucking Chinese New Year. And it was like, so they shut down lots of shops. So actual families travelled into different fucking regions, which only happens like probably once a year where they majorly do it. And so they shut down heaps of shops. Traffic was fucking insane. This is like four lane roads where all fucking people trying to drive out of the fucking town all drove on the same side of the road. And for 4 lanes when other cars were coming at them, and then they were like fucking beeping and like struggling to get out. And you're like, if you just stayed in your 2 lanes and let those 2 lanes come in, you'd all get out and in at the same pace. But I've got fucking photos of where they just went, oh, fuck this shit. And then even 4 lanes, they went, oh, somebody can get over here and go around this car. So they would all just start trying to get around each other. And if you took it from a fucking, like, from an aerial shot, it was like the worst game of Tetris you'll ever fucking see. But they couldn't just, like, figure out why they couldn't get anywhere. But they just should have just stayed in their own lane, and they would leave their town and come into the town as, you know,
That's fucking hilarious.
pretty well. So, but they are like, they shut down everything, and all the families went down. And then this is like rival gangs and kids that don't hang out in each other, and they don't care about whether you're fucking 14 years old and, you know, you've got a family. They're like, fuck you, I'm going to kill you. All my mates want you to die, and that I'm going to kill you. And literally, when I met an American fella, and we were like probably about 11 o'clock, and we rocked up, and we're like, fuck, we're hungry. We've been riding since 8. And then we stopped in this town. We had a couple of bowl. We had like fucking tofu, like pho and whatever. And we've just like...
Oh, the pho would be so fucking good over.
Banh mi, pho.
It's not the same here, is it?
Nah, it's not as good. Banh mi's are pretty good because the crackling's better here when they do a fucking like a pork crackling, you know, banh mi. But the pho's just
you
not
can't
as good.
compare.
Yeah. So we left the town. We like got on our bikes. We went, 5 minutes, and we were into the central town. Then we had to go past it and keep riding. So we were just cruising through, and then next minute shit just kicked off, and we saw about fucking 10 bikes with like kids with their girlfriends and all this shit on the back. They're like 14, 15-year-old kids, maybe younger, all on scooters. And we're like, what the fuck is going on? And next minute, they've just chasing this one kid on a scooter, and then just like got him like in the main street into this fucking driveway. And next minute, like there's this one kid with a fucking like 2.5 meter post, and 2 of them are just fucking plowing into him. And then everyone's just boot bashing him. Some other kids have got like bamboo sticks that they're just smashing him with. And then these kids are just like pummeling him, and you can see everything spilling out. And me and Jack just pulled to the side, and we've looked, and we're like, what the fuck? And we started watching, and then you see then all of a sudden the kids just start to try and disperse, and the last kids stop doing what they're doing, and then we stood there for a second, and we're like, what the fuck? And then this gate opened, and this family that obviously heard what was going on the other side, Vietnamese family, they come out, and you just see one grab the bike, the other one just drag the body into the yard, shut the gate, and we're like, what the fuck is going on, man? This is insane. And we've just turned, and there's like all rows of shops, and a couple of the owners of the shops and that are out the front, and all the kids were starting to like run back to their scooters, all these young kids and shit like that, like right near us, like walking towards us. And some of the shop owners just like looked us square in the eyes, and they were like, and we're like, we looked at each other and we're like, fuck, just start your bike and go. We got on our bikes, we started riding, and we had about fucking 3 or 4 bikes of like kids just followed us out the fucking place at our pace. As fast as we tried to ride, they just kept with us till eventually we left, and then they sort of just drifted off. And we're like, we probably rode for another hour, pulled to the side, took all of our fucking like helmets off, our gloves and all that shit, and there was like this little waterway, and we just walked down there, and we're like, what the fuck did we just watch some kid just get absolutely murdered? Like that, it was just extreme because it just happened in broad daylight, and we were like, what the fuck just happened, man? Like, that's insane. And it took us probably half hour just sitting there chatting, just going, whoa, oh man, we're in a different world right now. And
They just value life less over there.
yeah, so.
But fuck knows,
nuts.
that fucking kid could have done some bad shit.
Probably. Probably.
Like, who knows?
He had it coming to
Yeah,
him.
maybe.
Little
Come
cunt. So, but oh man, fuck! What a! But that trip, like I drove past a bus and the kid was fucking laying underneath it, dead. And
Dude, when I was fucking 6, I seen a kid punch a kid over a fucking fruit roll up.
no,
He just fucking Jimmy Nelson. He just fucking walked up. Nah, I made that name up. Just walked up to a gun and
roll
punched
ups
him
are
in the
good,
head.
man. Yeah, roll ups are good.